Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Friday, which I suppose means more to you people than it does to me, being all unemployed and whatnot, except for doing these shows, which is why I'm so glad you're all here. I am joined this day by the lovely and wonderful, this side, Bumblebee. How are you doing, darling?
Oh, all right. A little allergies, but I'll survive. Waking me up super early though. How you, doll?
I know, I'm so rude. And once again, the Queen of Detroit herself, Ms. Kelly King. How are you this fine day?
I am wonderful. And you guys?
It's all right. I mean, I'm alive, which is always a plus. It's morning, so it's too soon to tell. But I do have one only a tiny bit of personal tangent. Because I have so many medical issues, one of the things that I make sure to do every single day is use the scale, because my doctor needs that information. I keep a daily log of that. And so I know that today I am at the lowest weight since the attack in January. We're finally back to where I were before the bullshit.
So that
Which,
means
it's kind of a win.
subliminally you've been giving me your weight because I've gained like 15 pounds. So thank you so much for that.
I'm sharing. Sharing is caring.
I don't want it. You can have it back.
I mean, it's pluses and minuses. It's
Yeah.
especially, when you're a person like me, because you want a certain amount of mass, but only in certain places, and you
Oh
need the
yeah,
mass to go away in other places. It just,
but it never works that way.
C'est la vie. But
But I'm
yeah, so
glad you
I'm
have been doing
gradually getting
better.
healthier, at least in certain metrics.
I am glad about that. I just
Yeah.
hate you had to go through it in the first place, But
Yeah, that would be ideal, but
yeah,
we live in a country where individual people's lives don't matter at all,
I don't know.
which kind of touches on today's topic.
Yes.
Is I kind of want to try to theme these Fridays as being feminism focused,
Okay.
and this I have a couple of videos prepped, but the one that really caught my attention that I wanted to start out with, so much so that she made the thumbnail, is this person. Now, I don't know who this person is. I haven't seen her before, but she has this view that not only is patriarchy good, but that real women want it. It's only the fake pick-me women who want the right to vote and the right to own their own property. Uh-huh. So, before we get started with her, do y'all have any thoughts on the subject?
Wouldn't it be the opposite? The pick-me
You
would be
would
the
think so,
one.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, it would be the one who would be trying to kiss the other agendas. I don't know. I see a lot of the YouTube videos, Instagram videos where you have like the man and the woman, and the woman is saying how she loves to be submissive. You can kind of feel like deep down inside it's some kind of abuse or something like that.
Yeah, internalized misogyny or just the right-wing cognitive dissonance. If I volunteer myself as tribute hard enough, maybe they'll hurt me less than they hurt other people, or I don't know. There's that whole right-wing thing about saying the opposite of reality, and if you just say it enough, you can pretend it's true.
What do you
That's
say,
what
the Stockholm
not
syndrome
patriarchy.
thing, in a
What's that?
sense? Like a Stockholm syndrome where they don't even know they're getting abused anymore?
Possibly. I mean, we know so many people, including in this community, as well as friends of the channel, who were brought up in purity culture and shame culture, and so there's a lot of internalized women are demonic, women can't be trusted, women just try to bring down men, and all this random crap, and so some people never escape that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was. Yeah, it's like, oh, a guy can do certain things, but if you're doing it, well, it's different because you're a woman. You can't do what a man does.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel for them on the one hand because I know the kind of suffering it took for our friends who did escape that kind of cult mentality, how much work it took to deconstruct, how much they had to go through to get past those illusions and things. And it's extraordinarily painful and hard, and not everybody can do it because it's so hard. But at the same time, we can't let people who are trying to oppress an entire half the population because of their own bullshit do that. Now, to be clear, if a person wants to be a trad wife, good for you. Like, that's the whole point of feminism, is you have the freedom to choose the life you want. It's when you start telling everyone else how they have to live that we have a problem.
But a lot of people now aren't even interested in the trad wife. They want us to pay to pay half the bills, but still do all the work at home. Where they sit home when they get off work and pay to watch the football game or something. But we still got to go take care of the kids, cook, clean, and give them pleasure. While they
Well, you
could have.
see, that's just women's work, though. I mean, like how he might take out the trash once a week or something like that as his men's work. See, and
Yeah.
men aren't supposed to touch babies.
Yeah.
It'll make you gay or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
because
might
you
Make
start
are
it,
taught
yeah.
feeling
that.
You keep touching that baby, you'll start lactating, boys. What are you gonna do then? How are you gonna explain it to the bros down at the shop? Or where do men hang
Yeah,
out?
that's true though. Because
Explain
when
your
I was in a
drippy
relationship, I
nipples.
feel I was a single mom in a relationship.
Yeah, I think most women today, and maybe that's her main issue, is maybe she's been a single mom and she's like, well, if we still had patriarchy, that just wouldn't happen because men would somehow be more responsible or something. I don't know. It's kind of screwy, but
yeah.
now I don't know specifically what she's going to say, but if she brings up the modesty angle, I just want to point out that today I am more modest than she is. So
Yeah,
I can be
I'm
less modest
too.
if you want, but
I know I don't have any particular. I actually I wish I had more revealing clothing than I do. Like almost not everything, but almost everything I have like is
well,
I don't know. I may as well wear a burqa or something. But
not to call anybody out, but Ryan was glazing her boobies earlier today in Chris's stream.
I heard rumors about that.
Yeah.
Because I had the show on, but I was listening because I was getting things ready. So someone go back and clip that for me so I can actually see.
Yeah.
You know, for
just run
science.
that in the background on loop.
Yeah.
That way.
Oh, that would make a much better background. Like this is just a starscape, right? This is my photo from firefly hunting. This is the top part of the photo that the galaxy's in. And it's just my photo that I've put like star trails and stuff over.
That's cool.
There we go. Oh, now I broke it.
Now you broke it, Ember.
I broke it. Okay.
You fixed it. You broke it again.
I did. Well, our star drive broke, so now we're at a standstill.
Yeah, we're adrift now. Although we should have the momentum to keep going in space because there's no friction to make us stop.
Right?
Once you start going the speed of light like this, I don't think you can slow down. I don't know how you would slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse thrust, I guess.
You'd have to. I mean, that's how most conventional sci-fi writes it, is the ship spins around halfway through and pushes backwards to slow you down. So that's a weird thing that we see in sci-fi sometimes. I mean, tangent, obviously, but when ships lose their hyperdrive or their warp drive or whatever the hell drive, and they just boom drop to freaking parking speed, that's not how anything works. Oh well. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Theo. I like the space background because I'm a big fan of space, but I like it with the motion because it gives the moving background effect, which is always a plus over a static one. But also it gives us to me anyway, it gives the perspective of moving forward, which is what I'm always trying to do. It doesn't always work. Sometimes my hyperdrive breaks down, but I do try.
Yeah. If we go past our destination, we'll just loop all the way around the galaxy and come back to it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at light speed, it doesn't really matter. It's not like you'll be late. It takes 400 years to get to Proxima Centauri. What's another 100,000 light years? It's fine.
We got time. We'll listen. We'll review Tradwives until we get there again, right?
What could possibly go wrong? Oh goodness. All right. I suppose we should actually do the thing. I do try to do like a little bit of banter first, so there's time for people to wander
filter in.
Yeah. Which is fair because YouTube's a little slow with the notifications. But if you want to make sure you get notifications, make sure you're not only subscribed, but you have that notification bell turned on. Or you could just set your alarm because we're live 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time every weekday. And then I do evening shows on the weekends because I'm a crazy person. All
You're
right.
just trying to make money. Can you take care of your bills?
I mean, we try.
So if you don't get yourself out there, how can you do that? That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I try to have a space for the community so we can spend time together and relax and laugh at silly things, but also to be educational where possible, but also to be able to afford food and things. Why not do all of the above or something? Oh my goodness. So Dr. Cassius says, why two embers? And I'm trying to decipher what the hell he's talking about.
Because I guess you have one streaming of the lady to try to show the video, and then the other one is you.
Oh, because the share screen also, yeah, that's a quirk of the studio. The share screen shows the name of the person sharing the screen. It just whatever. Clearly, I need more coffee today because it didn't occur to me that's what that was about. All right, so let's see what Evil Ember is going to say.
This is Julia James Davis, and welcome to The War on Beauty.
Okay. We got the name, and we got the goal of the video. She's declaring war on beauty for some reason. And her name is Julia James
Davis.
I guess.
She's got three names.
Like a serial killer.
Julia James Davis.
And they all have
Notorious,
5 letters.
That doesn't
the notorious
seem
Julia
very,
James Davis. The
very
nefarious Julia
tread-wife-ish.
James Davis. Yeah.
That doesn't seem very tread-wife-ish. You kept one of your last names. Your
Did
maiden
she?
name.
Or is
That's
that her
what
middle name?
James Davis? James sound like another last name. I don't know. Yeah, I might be wrong.
James and David. I mean, they're all first names too. Two of them are traditional men's first names though. So
it's true.
But I know a couple people that's last names is James.
I know lots of Jameses
and my mom's
and
last
Davises.
name is her main name is Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you should have took one of your last names. Only had one last name. I don't know.
You don't suppose she's any relation to our favorite Canadian who's written no books?
Oh, Kip Davis. Ah.
She ain't related to me though. I know that. That's my mom's maiden name. So she ain't no relation to me though.
After the war on terror, theoretically says, oh no, after the war on terror, drugs, and Christmas, it's a war on beauty now. Well, yeah, because, modesty, something, liberal women want to look like harlots and Jezebel spirits, demonic, yada, yada.
But also no body positivity. We can't be having that. That's promoting obesity or something. Yeah.
You would be canceled, Bree.
If people got canceled for being too hot, Bree would have been banned from Facebook or fucking YouTube, whatever the hell platform. I have many thoughts going in my head. I saw a thing on Facebook earlier that was tremendously fat phobic, and it pissed me the fuck off. And now it's still floating in my head. That's why I said Facebook. But yeah, Bree would have been banned ages ago because like every time we're on a show together, I'm like, damn it, Bree, why are you so much hotter than I am?
Oh,
exactly. You're just glamorous every day.
I showed you Ember. I did my makeup with Ember this morning. So
yeah. And in fairness, I could have done a better job on my makeup. I really could have.
I just put on some lipstick.
Yeah.
Now, you see, I didn't even put no contacts in. I put my glasses
you
on.
look adorable, Kelly.
I look like a nerd. Ugly nerd.
Nerds are adorable.
Nerds Club.
Oh, nice sunglasses, Ember.
That's right. They were part of my assorted birthday goodies, and I'm like, oh, I can be like OT, but extra fabulous. Hell yeah! Now, no one is ever going to be as fabulous as OT. The man has purple hair. For fuck's sake, that's epic. But we can aspire.
See,
Hell
look at
yeah.
y'all. Look. You just a top notch.
I'm ready. I had these sitting there ready.
I know. I don't
So I
even
didn't
have
know we
my
were doing
sunglasses near
sunglasses.
me. Mine are like in the other room somewhere.
You
But
saw
when you
these
look on
sunglasses in
Facebook, I will be
person.
transformed because I am going to the concert later on today. So you will see a diva in me later on tonight. That's why I
Yeah.
started putting on makeup on today earlier. But
Okay.
y'all see me look like a diva later on. At least try to
Yeah.
compare to Brie. At least. I don't know if I can do it
Diva.
though, but I would try.
Yeah, I've seen some of your diva pics. You fucking serving for real.
Yeah, I saw the one that you posted on the Discord. I know you did.
Yeah, where you was wearing the bikini or no, the one piece swimsuit, but you were like all tits. You're like fucking.
I mean, as we know from the Daily Atheist Morning Show, everybody loves boobies.
Mhm.
It's true. So Jedi's been doing some investigative journalism while we've been, comparing our eye fashion, and says apparently she comes from a very wealthy family. I'm shocked. I would have never imagined that a right-wing anti-women's lib person would come from a wealthy family. Real estate tycoons. Interesting. What is it with the real estate people lately?
What if I told you we should live in a patriarchy? Not the kind.
Thesis right out there. I mean, I appreciate the candor. It makes things faster.
Yeah, come right out of the gate with it.
Yeah, we're not beating around the bush. Okay. How unwomanly is it to like be direct with what you want to say? Like, I don't think she would agree with her own technique here. She would critique the hell out of herself.
I don't think that she understands that under patriarchy she wouldn't be up here doing her video.
I don't think she does either.
And as she's speaking, are men going to be watching this? Because it's not right for her to be speaking and teaching men.
Yeah, that's true. According
say-
to ye old book of rules, women should be silent.
I'm like thinking about Candace Owens on that Jubilee thing, the Surrounded. That's what they all came at her about too. It's like, you want trad wife for everybody but you. And she's like, and Candace Owens, all she could do is say, yes, that's true. Because what else is she gonna say?
What
Yeah.
kind of
She said,
bees
well,
make
I'm the
more babies?
exception.
Yeah, Chrissy with the jokes. What kind of bees make milk? Boobies. Ghost bees. Ghost bees are the milky kind. That actually makes sense. Milk is like ghost honey. It's ectoplasm. Bree, we found the ectoplasm.
Oh my.
I've made a little bit of that.
That's some
my day.
cross-channel lore.
That's portrayed in internet memes or by alpha male influencers, but the kind of patriarchy that reflects the natural order of things, that provides
The natural order. Here I am in a room, an artificial cave created by humans with a textile fabric created by humans under artificial lighting created by humans. What exactly about civilization? Having a civilization constitutes the natural order. What the fuck is she talking about?
I guess we'll watch further and find out.
it's for the future, and the fact that I think women secretly deep down want it to. A patriarchy that cares for the next generation.
Women secretly want it to. If you think you don't want the patriarchy, you're just suppressing the truth. We've heard that one before too.
Yeah, do women really like voting and stuff? That's probably hard on our little brains.
It's such a chore to have to, go out and like stand in line for a couple minutes and then push a couple buttons.
Clearly,
I mean,
it's best to let daddy vote for you.
because we don't have any mind, and we don't know what we're doing. We just going around life just faking it.
I mean, we have to keep so many things straight. Like, which one is the contour again? Oh, it's the long, thin one. That's right. I'm so silly.
I think that
And the way that our
What's that?
I was watching. It was a debunk video about the Jane, Jill and Jane Genesis, and so she couldn't even organize her makeup. He had to show her how to do that.
Yep. That's
I was
it.
like,
Oh,
really
my
though,
goodness.
really.
I'm looking
That
at my
was-
mess of makeup over here and thinking, well,
I
it is more
know.
of a
I need more
neurodivergent
room.
thing, though.
I built my own freaking makeup table because, you know, I'm an independent woman, but I still need more damn room. Granted, in fairness, there's non-makeup things on my makeup table, like you know, my little spinner, which is actually an atom because science, and
Cool.
I've got my rock that I created, featured in this week's recorded video. It's an artificial sapphire. I forgot to
Oh.
add the blue, but yeah, maybe I can get. I should. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Point is, I do have the rock nearby. The rock I created. We've never seen God create a rock, but you've seen a rock I created. You haven't seen me create the rock, but
If I don't see you create it, then I don't believe it's true.
it's clearly a special effect.
It just
society
appeared.
has functioned
What's that?
No, nothing. You can watch the video. Yeah.
Okay.
for thousands of years up until this very point. And we can see that as we've moved
Hold on. Thousands of years. Woman, ma'am, miss, mister, whatever the fuck you like. The modern social system is very, very new. Just because you're so young, it's all you've ever known, doesn't mean that's all of fucking history.
But it's in the book.
Right?
And the patriarchal societies are cultural too. I mean, it's not like it's universal. There were societies before colonialism that were largely matriarchal. Good morning, Maya.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot. In fact, there was a historian shoot. It was Sumeria had a patriarchal system, and the pre-Minoan, called them Ariadnean civilization, in Crete area were matriarchal. And then a volcano went off and destroyed that civilization, and Sumeria won by default. And so this particular historian was speculating what would happen if that volcano had been in Sumeria instead of in the Greek islands. We'd have an entirely different history. And that's just Europe, though. You know, like, most of the world has gone through periods of back and forth. You know, Egypt has had periods where women were in charge. They tried very hard to erase those as soon as they were over, but they still happened. And then there's other cultures that had been matriarchal as far back as they can go. You know, there's several Native American cultures that still are. It just happened to be Europe that happened to be patriarchal and happened to wind up in charge of the whole fucking world. And so they run around. It's still colonialism. It's still imperialism, pretending that their way is not only the only viable way, but it's the natural way, when there's nothing fucking natural about it.
Well, it's like, I mean, we still have crusades going on right now, right? I mean, the shit that's happening in the Middle East is just an extension of the Crusades, just an echo of that. And the colonial powers, they spread everywhere, and they were all simping for the Catholic Church at the time because they were top dog in Europe. So when it came to stripping other lands, other resources, and trying to convert or wipe out their peoples, that was the patriarchy.
Yeah, Rome fell, but the empire never went away. And I mean, for a long time, I blamed Christianity for that. I was like, oh, Christianity is inherently patriarchal. It is, but that's not the source of it. That was just a tool they used to spread it, but it preceded Christianity by a pretty long while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness. Jedi asks, wasn't there a female pharaoh? There were at least 2, but Deviant would know better than I. If she's still, yeah, she has to be. She just commented right before that. See, there's a Deviant. So yeah, don't listen to me. There's an actual expert.
Moved away from patriarchy, everything has descended into pure chaos.
Pure chaos. What has happened to this world since the women's lib movement? Let's see.
Our technology and innovation has leaped forwards more in the last 50 to 75 years than it had than it had in the previous 1,000 years. So we like suddenly jump forward into the space age. Is that what she's talking about? Because yeah, that happened. That happened or once women got liberated.
Yeah, behold this miraculous magic brick of plastic with which I can access 90% of all knowledge the human race has ever had. That's pretty fucking neat.
Yeah, so is this the chaos?
Yeah, it's fucking what? Diseases way the fuck down. Granted, in the US there's been a spike recently, but that's largely because of a resurgence of patriarchy. And that's an interesting counterfactual, because where we see patriarchy resurging, like we've never killed it off entirely, but we were approaching a state of parity, and now patriarchy is resurging. And all of a sudden, diseases are exploding, and there's all these wars. We're invading our own damn cities. That's the natural order? What?
Since 1960, the percentage of children living in fatherless homes has tripled, with over 18.4 million children living without a biological step or adoptive father in the home. It's
cool, but what's that mean?
Is it the woman's fault, though? It's not.
Yeah, like what's she trying to say with that? It's women's ability to leave an abusive relationship? Like what does the statistic mean? Why is it automatically a bad thing that a child have a single parent as opposed
because one
to
decided to stay
but be abusive
and handle the child by themselves? The other one decided to go off and do whatever they wanted to do?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Like she's just painting this implication that it's inherently worse for kids. But what about, people where one parent gets killed, like by a drunk driver? That's sort of the go-to example. It's not their fault, but there's a one-parent household. Oh, it's so horrible. Fuck off, lady.
And many times in a situation where the parents stay together, the children are happy, but they know that the parents aren't happy together.
Yeah.
Kids are smarter than what you think.
Oh, for sure. A big part of why my childhood was so fucked up is because my parents were very unhappy for a very long time, but they were doing that. We're going to stay together for the kids.
Yeah.
And so they lived their lives in such a way that they almost never saw each other. And, my dad kept getting DUIs and lost his license and all sorts of fucking havoc because they were miserable.
My daughter at 10 was like, "Ma, leave my dad. You don't need to be with him anymore." And I was like, damn, that kind of got me like, damn, like she sees it. But she was 10 years old and told me that. So thank you.
My daughter told me and my ex that we needed to split because we were unhappy together. When it was true.
Yeah, somebody says Jace can't really see because my Freer can read. How many single parents were left after after 2 world wars? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is some PragerU shit right here.
Uh-huh. Holy crap.
Really time to consider what we've lost and how we've benefited from moving away from patriarchy to whatever it is we're living in now. But let's define our terms. The classical view of patriarchy was a system where men and fathers and leaders were responsible for providing, protecting, and guiding the family and society. The goal was never
Okay, let's double check that. I mean, points on her for defining her terms, but is that a valid definition? Patriarchy definition. Okay, let's have a peek here. I love fact checking fuckers on the fly. Okay. A system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced through the male line. A system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. A society or community organized on patriarchal lines, i.e., we live in a patriarchy. That seems like a fair definition to me. Now, what the hell did she say? A system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced through the male line. Okay, definition matches. Points for not outright lying, I guess.
Yeah.
Leaders were responsible for providing, protecting, and guiding the family and society. The goal was never domination or oppression, but ordering society in a way that nurtured long-term stability and the well-being of future generations.
Now, that's not in any of those definitions we just read. There's nothing about the goal.
Can I give my own definition of patriarchy too?
Yeah.
She gets to do hers.
Sure.
Okay, so this is patriarchy right here. Just so you guys know, Count Chocula, Blueberry, and Frankenberry's missing. But Frankenberry, I mean, are you seeing a trend here? That's the patriarchy.
Where are the women monsters? Damn it.
Yes. Where's the bride of Frankenberry? At least.
For real. They used to have Chrissy says, I love fact checking fuckers on the fly, me too. Oh goodness. Absolutely. It's one of the best parts of lives.
I just figure since we're all coming up with our own definitions, you all can come up with your definitions too.
Let's see. I thought for sure there were other monster cereals.
There's Fruit Brute and Fruity Yummy Mummy.
They were so nasty.
Blueberry and Count Chocula.
I remember trying to eat them years ago when it was out. Oh my God, they were so disgusting to me.
Oh, they're so good. They're my favorite.
Really? Oh, I know. Me, we're doing a lot of things, but
gosh.
that's one thing I did
have
not like that
love
cereal.
affair with Count Chocula.
I did not like those cereals at all.
Okay. I found one. Carmela Creeper.
Carmela Creeper.
Yeah, caramel apple cereal. That actually sounds really good. And
Yeah,
but she's been canceled. But yeah, she was part of the family. She was in the whole Monster Mash group thing.
What year did she come out though?
Because I don't remember that one.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
they were out
asking
in
the hard
the 80s.
questions, Ember.
I know. June 2023.
So it took from when the Monster cereal's been around since like 1968 or something like that. So it took almost or over 40 years for them to finally get a female monster.
And then immediately canceled.
And immediately canceled her.
Of course, Brie has all the spooky cereals.
Of course I do.
Fuck yeah, I'm envious on that one actually. Because like, so Dr. Ben went to Spirit Halloween like the instant it opened, and I'm so jealous because it's my favorite fucking store.
Gotta love Dr. Ben.
Too, but I'm broke. I can't afford any of the goodies, so I need to not go in there.
I went there and I'm broke too, and I wanted to buy that freaking ringmaster hat. Oh my God, I looked good in that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I was honored to be hanging with Bree and Dr. Ben. They actually allowed me to hang with them.
Yeah, we were hanging out. We went to the Asian market.
We had so much fun.
We had those peach ice cream things. Those were good.
I wanted to buy some more.
It was crazy hot and humid down in Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, Deviant is also dropping some Egypt knowledge on us. This may come up again on Monday, but because Deviant is joining us Monday to go into more dark goddesses, so set your alarms, click the notify me thing, ring the notification bell on the channel, all the things. But Egypt was one of the most equal societies of the ancient world. Men and women had equal rights. Fuck yeah.
How it should be.
I'm going to lotion my legs on camera while we watch this about
Woo!
patriarchy.
Yeah. Sexy legs.
Bonus content.
I know, sexy legs. You need to leave that for the after show, Bree.
Yeah, Bree after dark, or at least after lunch. Jester says $2 super chat. Thank you, Jester.
To the Patreon to see that.
Exclusive content.
99 cents to get the Patreon special.
Yeah, Patreon special lotion.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
You just got some people feeling.
Jester says patriot, no matriot. So what should matriot mean? Right?
And thanks for the super chat
as you're
as well.
all no doubt aware, Maya of Bad Science Sunday, the Queen Goddess, she refers to herself as the patron saint of woke bitches. And that always bugs me. I realize that's how the Catholics refer to everything. But when you're
should be the matron saint?
Matron. Yeah, you're the matron saint. I just, whatever. I get pedantic sometimes. And the Catholics have always pissed me off.
Yeah, because it's a patriarchy, so they don't have matron saints. Even if it's Saint Bridget, it's like, oh, that's the patron Saint Bridget. It's like, no.
Yeah, that's not how words work. You fuckers speak Latin. You know this. Ah.
That is so foreign to us now, caring about the future long after you're gone. And now,
wait. This motherfucker who wants to screw over future generations of women is accusing other people of not caring about the future. I would venture a guess about her feelings about the environment. I would venture a guess about her feelings about, medical things. No promises, but there's a very high probability that she's a fan of the current Secretary of Health and Human Services, the brainworm guy.
Yikes.
Fuck's sake. Maya says, it's how words work now, Catholics for all eternity. That's true. Oh, Jeebus preserve us from your followers.
since we've shifted so hard away from that, we have a lot of studies with statistics about how it's negatively impacted society moving away from patriarchy. For example,
what? Okay, she says.
Do I see an Al Trucker in the side chat? Hey, Al. Good morning.
Yeah, there, and the spirit of holy fuck is with us. Thanks, Al.
Yes. The patron saint of holy folk.
Of holy trucking, even.
Fucking trucking.
Think about it. We've had a lot of truckers in this community, and Al is the last one standing. Every single one of us has been knocked out by some bullshit.
Studies consistently show that children in father-present homes are 70 to 80% less likely to go to prison and are.
Is that true? I don't think that's true. What's this from?
It can be either way. Doesn't matter.
AFPI, what's that?
America First Policy Institute. Oh, America First. Where have we heard that one before? Oh my.
Let's see. America First Policy Institute is a 501c3 nonprofit Christian conservative think tank that was founded in 2021 to promote America First public policy agendas. Greg Sindler became the organization's interim president and CEO in March of 2025. Let's see what kind of activity we have here. According to Politico, prior to Trump regaining the presidency for a second term, AFPI was often described as the White House in waiting. The group produced a document about its vision, which included job creation and low unemployment, expansion of affordable housing, eradication of COVID-19, reducing federal bureaucracy, cracking down on crime and illegal immigration, passing congressional term limits, and ending foreign wars and reliance on China. So I don't have a problem with most of that stuff. But
if they actually followed through on it.
Yeah. But then they turned it around when Trump got his second term and started focusing on the people. PM Bondi was AFPI. Let's see, PM Bonding, Douglas Collins, Lee Zedlin, Scott Turner. It's the Heritage Foundation's project.
Yep.
There's so much overlap here.
Oh, it's the same people with different hats. It's like the American conservative not pediatricians, you know, like the things they say they stand for. First of all, we guessed right on her politics, shock and surprise. But like the ACP, they say they're against this thing, but they were actually founded to oppose abortion. When abortion was done for, they switched to opposing gay marriage. Oh, families with two parents are actually bad if they're the same gender for some reason. And now they're on to trans stuff because they lost on gay marriage. Like, they don't actually stand for the things they say they stand for. That's just what they think they can win on, so they can do the thing that they actually want to do, which is usually oppress women and do a racism.
73 alumni hired by the Trump administration from this organization. Just to put it in perspective, they're staffing. They were staffing the cabinet for Trump, like building a pre-staffed cabinet when Trump came into office. They just all like fall into place. We watched that video on the trans positions. Remember when Project 2025 first kind of dropped and people were like, oh no, this is all nonsense or whatever. And we watched that video about them people wanting to take like pronouns out of like correspondences and stuff like that. And it's
there's still a list of banned words, and woman is on it.
Yeah, so like that was those were the staffers that were waiting that this organization put together for them. All right.
Fabulous. Where ideology trumps competence.
Twice as likely to graduate from college, while on the other hand, 63%.
Why do you suppose? Let's take that statistic at face value. Let's just grant that. It's probably bullshit, but let's just grant that. Why do you suppose a family with two incomes has a higher probability of a child being able to go to college? I wonder what the implication could be. What's the cause there?
Why children in a house with a family with two incomes are less likely to commit crimes? Huh? Why might that be?
It's very peculiar.
You mean poor children are more likely to commit crimes and try to get stuff that they don't have without? Come on.
Yeah.
Say it ain't so.
Right? Holy fuck.
Of youth suicides are from fatherless homes. That is 5 times the average suicide rate. So where we're at now is we have these two.
Why are they always preoccupied with suicide rates? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the total lack of empathy, because empathy is a sin apparently, but it only counts it's not real suffering unless you unalive yourself. You know, anything short of self-deletion, well, that's just how life is supposed to be. It's the natural order. You're supposed to suffer. That's how Jesus knows you love him or something.
Bootstraps.
My question
Do your
is,
bootstraps.
would it be the same statistic? Is it just not having two parent households, or just because the man's not in the household? Because I know several households where the man is the head of the household because the mother died or something of that nature.
Mhm.
Is it just the case where it's not the man? What happens with the woman not in the family, not in the household? Would it be the
Well,
same statistics?
yeah, and also she's bringing up contradictory statistics, right? Like she's talking one thing she'll say children with a father in the household, another thing she'll say a household with two incomes. But at the same time, she'll say women shouldn't work. Women should stay home and be the homemaker. So these two things don't work together, ma'am. You can't
Does it?
have a stay-at-home mom and a two-parent income household unless, you're into poly, which is fantastic, but that's not actually legal in the US. Fuck.
I digress.
Extremes. Either on the one end, it's the modern interpretation of the patriarchy as bad and oppressive and backwards and harmful to women as framed by the feminists. But then you have the complete other end of the spectrum, which is the red pill masculinity influencers that have also hijacked the conversation, distorting patriarchy into something shallow about alpha male dominance.
So she's doing the faux centrism thing, right? She's like, oh, yeah, sure, there's crazies on this side, but there's also crazies on this side. And yes, I agree with everything they say, but they're crazies. I'm a normal person in the middle. Oh, fucking fake centrists. To be clear, folks, there is no such thing as a centrist in the United States. Not anymore. A person who says I'm a centrist or I'm not a conservative, I'm an independent. They're fucking conservatives. They are Republicans. They're posing as being neutral to try to draw people. Oh, what they're saying makes a whole lot of sense. But they don't actually believe that. And if you listen to them for more than a couple of minutes, and I realize I keep interrupting, so we haven't actually listened to her for more than a couple of minutes. But if you listen for more than a couple of minutes, it becomes very apparent they're all the way on the right. And they're just lying to you. I know, people lying on the internet. That never happens.
Is she more observing than more than a couple minutes though at a time?
We're 2 minutes and 53 seconds in, so we have had a couple of minutes, which explains why we've already picked out contradictory claims. Shit. Equus says, feminists also point out that the patriarchy also harms most men, which is true. How many men are driven to self-harm, whether it's self-destructive behavior like getting lost in the bottle, all the way up through self-deletion, because of this bullshit about men aren't allowed to feel things. You can't ask for help, man up, bury it deep, all that bullshit. It's so destructive to men. It's not
Yeah,
good
they
for
don't want to
anybody.
get they don't want to get therapy because they think it's weak. So many different things.
Maya says, I know a lot of centrists actually, but they think they're conservatives, which is kind of wild. Okay, in
Exactly.
fairness, I will grant you that. There are a lot of people who think they're conservatives, but are actually much more moderate. I myself, I ran around as a Republican for a very long time because I believed in the actual conservative values, like individual liberty, freedom for everybody, bodily autonomy, like protecting our environment, like, equal rights, regardless of, things that we wanted to conserve. But that's not what conservatism means anymore. That makes me, even though when I was born, that put me slightly to the right of center, in the same position, I am now far to the fucking left. And I haven't moved. It's fucking wild.
But really, the patriarchy is about service. It's about service to your family, your country, your future.
Rulership is about service. I mean, we should really bring back a monarchy because it's about service. It's about
They
taking
do want to
care of the people.
Christians, or I should say Christians, but Abrahamic people in general already live in a monarchy. They think we're in their monarchy too. They think there's a king, our king, a God in heaven or whatever, that there is a hierarchy and there is a monarchy at the top of it. They actually believe that. So equality is like anti-God to them.
Yeah.
Socialism is anti-God to them because there needs to be a hierarchy.
Yeah, the hierarchical thinking, it's always, I still don't quite understand. Like, is it because people refuse to grow up? They don't want to take responsibility for their own lives, so they imagine a higher power above them telling them what to do and how to live, and as long as they do what they're told, they'll be okay? Shit. I had a debate. Brentley was doing TikTok debates over at Punk Apostate. He was on his TikTok channel yesterday, and I hopped on to help him out because TikTok is weird, but also because you get all kinds of randos and yeah, and it was kind of fun. But we had a guy on who basically had that view. He was like, when I was living life on my own, I kept fucking everything up. Like, I was around people who were committing crimes. I was smoking. It wasn't good for my health. I was, sleeping with people who were much, much older than me. And I'm like, dude, you were getting abused, but never mind that.
Yeah.
But once I found Jesus, now the people coming into my life through God's grace are a better influence. I can trust them. I can share things with them. And I've quit smoking. I've quit being promiscuous and all that assorted stuff. And we're like, dude, good for you that you feel happier about your life and you're practicing healthier habits, I suppose. But did God not bring those other people into your life also before you convert? Like this, it's the same God. He's still in charge, right? Like, what are we doing? It's
I go
fucking
a
wild.
tangent about that. I'll save that for another day.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of the thing is like, as long as I pretend there's someone in charge and I can just do what they say, I don't have to think for myself and I don't have to be responsible for the outcomes of the decisions I make. It's, oh no, God made me do it. I didn't want to do that. God said I had to. Like, fucking hell.
Because our body is the temple for the Holy Spirit. So really, it's not even ours.
Like that Brendan Fraser movie. I can't
He
think
was
of the
trying to
title
say
of it.
the mummy, but I know that's what you're talking about.
No,
What's the
the Mummy
premise?
is
I know.
amazing.
Oh, the premise.
I'm good at
The one he
trivia.
got
What's the
awards for,
premise?
the one, his
It's
latest one, I guess.
it's Brendan Fraser's character makes a deal with the devil, ends up going to hell, and then tries to get out of it by saying, well, my soul
Bedazzled.
wasn't mine to begin with because it actually belongs to God, so the contract is void.
Yeah, that's Bedazzled.
Okay, yeah, that
Okay.
one.
I didn't see
Mhm.
that. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, I don't actually have a soul. It's God. I am property. I have owned by Jesus stenciled on my heart
Right.
or something.
They already exist deeply embedded in a patriarchal monarchy, and you're not going to get them to budge away from that. Everything else is against the they call it the natural order, but God's order, I guess, would be the term that that would be more appropriate for how they define it.
So it'd be a supernatural order, or in other words, an unnatural order. Interesting.
Right.
Like Christopher Hitchens said, it's a celestial dictatorship.
And your family line. It's about responsibility. When the patriarchy was running things, it wasn't a man's world for the sake of it being a man's world.
It absolutely was. But go on.
It was a world where men were given the burden of leadership and the responsibility to protect and
Oh shit!
Burden.
What was
The
it? Phyllis
burden.
Schlafly? Or I'm always confusing Phyllis with Anita Bryant, but one of them was like opposing equal rights for women by saying, don't give me burdens, protect my privilege, keep me safe from having to have social responsibility, make the men do the work. And I'm like, that's so sexist. Like, not just misogynist, but also just plain sexist. Like, it's so horrible. And she had social support. She had a lot of social support. What was her freaking
Nita
slogan?
Bryan said stupid shit like that too, though. I mean,
oh yeah, they both did, but one was anti-women's rights and one was one was racism and the other was sexism, and they were both anti-women, but whatever. They both need
And
time and
anti-gay.
space.
Yeah. Anita Bryant
Yeah.
was really anti-gay.
Yeah.
Nurture their families and their wives, and ultimately all of society. And all of this, I think, is a perennial desire even for women. Because think about like the enduring appeal of Jane.
Think about men in uniform. Doesn't that make you all tingly? Clearly, women want to be oppressed.
I like thinking about women in uniforms too, though.
Me too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of uniforms, but yeah, it goes both ways.
Austen's Pride and Prejudice. And there's a lot of examples that I could choose from. But Pride and Prejudice has remained one of the most beloved novels for over 200 years, with so many film adaptations drawing millions of viewers, plus it's even being relaunched in theaters this year. It's just
it's just almost like Hollywood only remakes things that they've already made or something. I don't know. How many Romeo and Juliet remakes are there?
so popular. And also too, romance novels, typically which feature strong masculine figures and traditional gender dynamics, these generate 1.08 billion sales annually, with 82%.
Wait a second. In Twilight, didn't she pick the twink over the big muscly werewolf dude?
Mm-hmm.
Little thin twink guy? Yeah.
In 50 Shades of Grey, we had a rich masculine figure, but a fundamentally very weak man. That was his whole thing, is he can't handle anything about life, and so he has to beat his partners to cope, you know? It's fucking, but also 1.8 billion. I mean, cool, bonus, more book sales. We love to see it. But that's what one Marvel movie gets in one weekend.
The readers being women. So the enduring success of Pride and Prejudice and also these romance novels show that women are really drawn to narratives celebrating a traditional patriarchal structure. These stories romanticize strong, honorable men like Mr. Darcy, who really...
Well, no, right? Like, Pride and Prejudice was controversial at its time because of the main character's decision, right? She had to choose whether to go with Mr. Darcy or not. The fact that a woman was allowed to choose was scandalous. It's not traditionally patriarchal, because in a traditional patriarchal situation, she would be compelled to marry who she was told to marry. That's not having a choice. That's women's lib, even in the 19th century. Fuck.
Body the masculine virtues of protection, provision, and principled and honorable leadership. Why? Because these stories tap into a deep and often very hidden, now hidden, longing for order and security through a patriarchal male figure. Women...
Did you spot the conflation there? A lot of people do long for security and order and safety. That's why we built a civilization, so we could all protect each other and take care of things. Like, human groups that had civilization had a much higher chance of their children surviving to adulthood than the human groups who did not do that. That's why civilizations came to dominate. There are other emergent benefits, like, working collectively, we're able to have specialists. If we have in a group where everybody has to farm, nobody has time to do anything but farm. But if we all work together, we can have some people farm, and then some people can specialize in things like becoming doctors. And that gave a huge survival advantage and so forth. Yes, security and safety is great, but it does not follow that means a man must be in charge. You can have a civilization that either is equitable, holy shit, what a weird concept, or even matriarchal. It doesn't have to be a man in charge.
Egalitarian's probably best. I mean, let people do what they feel they're good at, or what the society has recognized that they're good at, instead of trying to say, well, you're good at this, but you can't do this because you're a woman. Or you're good at this, but you can't do it because you're a man. Because there's roles like that, like a male nurse used to be a joke. Used to be like, oh my gosh, a male nurse.
Yeah, why aren't
But
you a
now,
doctor? That's a proper job for a man.
it's more accepted
Mhm.
for a man to step into that role. So
Yeah.
the door does swing both ways, but it's usually denying women the access to do the man things, and it shames men for trying to do the women things, and we still see echoes of that today. That's what transphobia is all about.
Mhm.
Shame they want to shame trans women who they see as men for doing the women things, and they want to prevent trans men from participating at all or erase them completely.
Oh yeah. We hear all the time about people like AB Hernandez who happen to be good at sports. Minority women belong in sports, god damn it. But we never hear about Patricio Garcia, I believe. I could look it up, but I'm looking up a lot of things today. Who is a trans man who is an undefeated professional boxer. It works
He
both
was.
ways.
He lost a match. He
Oh,
finally did lose a match. And then
okay.
the reason I know so much about that is because everybody on the transphobe groups that I'm like got my nose in for the trans positions were celebrating him losing and acting like it was his first match and then he's only ever lost. It's like Bro went undefeated for like 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And unless people get all twist things around with, oh, well, trans people, either direction, they're doping, hormones, yada, yada, yada. I will remind you that a cis woman won the ultra marathon in Scotland this year by hours. She won first of all, she had to stop along the way. She was having her monthly at the time. She congratulated race organizers on having the feminine care products she needed at rest areas because she needed them. So bonus points there. But also she came across a hurt person on her route, stopped and helped him, got him medical attention, and then continued. And she still defeated the next place finisher, the fastest man in the competition, by such a long period of time. She was literally at home with her feet up by the time he reached the finish line.
So there's this in the Chihuahua Desert here. I'm in the Chihuahua Desert too, but like in the Mexican side, there's this. It's called the Canyon Ultra Marathon, and it was won by this like little old lady. This little old abuela won the race. What was her name? Let's see.
Love it.
Where's her name? Yeah. Candelaria. Yeah. When no tennis shoes, just traditional how do you say that, harashes on her feet in a flowing skirt, because she's from a culture that they hike up the mountains to their fields, because the Chihuahua has what they call sky islands, right, where above a certain level there's green and you can grow crops and stuff up there. So traditionally, people have been doing that for thousands of years, taking these long, high altitude hikes every day to tend to their crops.
63 kilometers in 7.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there she is.
Yeah,
fucking kicking ass. Okay, so
she just she destroyed the competition.
I wonder if it says how fast the second place person was. Let's see. So, okay, it's equivalent to 1.5 marathons, regular marathons. That's pretty cool. She walked 14 hours to get to the start of the race. Although Snopes could not confirm that. I don't know why they included it if they can't confirm it, but whatever.
They could at least put out she allegedly or something.
Right? Alas, I don't see anything, at least in this article, about how fast the second place person was. But I mean, that's a lot of distance in a very few hours. Holy shit. Like, for example, as many of you know, I've been walking every evening I can to try to get some fucking mobility back. And it takes me about an hour to do 5 kilometers. Now, granted, I'm not running. I'm not in shape to run, but the speed difference is remarkable. And the longer you go, the harder it is to maintain speed because you build up that lactic acid, you burn away all your free floating blood sugar calories and things, and it gets hard fast. And, you know, if you find yourself getting hard fast, head on over to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley at checkout for 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. That's adamandeve.com, code word Brentley. Not sponsored. I stole that ad from Punk Apostate, but I think it's hilarious, so I slip it in when it seems inappropriate. And if you want to slip it in, I'm incorrigible. I know. Hey, if you want to send tips, look at that. I stole a page from Misinterpretations, and I put the app things right on the thing. Now, Patreon is linked down below. All these things are linked in descriptions and on my website. But I thought it was cool how Misinterpretations just had the thing right on the screen. I'm like, that's fucking cool. I wanted, I'm not going to keep them up because they're distracting, I think. But, I thought it would be neat. Yeah. She took the logo ability and just made it a Venmo. Yes, Misinterpretations. I was showing off.
That's actually brilliant.
I know. That's what I said when she showed me. I'm like, that's
I need to do that
brilliant.
on my channel.
Yeah.
Make it easy for people to donate and to help me out because
exactly
much like Ember, I'm in kind of tight situation too. So yeah.
And that's
hopefully I'll be moving to greener pastures soon though. Living in Texas is kind of rough.
Absolutely. It's I can't even imagine. It just Misinterpretations says I stole it from Melanie Little. So yay, piracy! Avast! We help each other by stealing each other's ideas. It's good shit. But yes, as a good rule of thumb, make it as easy as possible for people to send you money. So if they want to, they can. And on that note, super chats are also open. Although I appreciate the other ways because YouTube takes 30% and the others take some cut. It varies, but nowhere near 30%. But I do appreciate however the hell you want to send money. It all helps. It always helps. I very much appreciate it. Like Jester, who just sent $2. Thank you so much, Jester. And says, just the tip. Well played. Well played. Oh, right. We were doing a thing.
At their core, really crave a system where the chaos of modern life isn't ruling their every decision. They crave stability and they want a protector, not just a partner, unlike the feminist movement has sold them. And the whole
we don't want a partner. We want a protector who tells us what to do all the time. No autonomy. Is this projection? Is this indoctrination?
See, they get woman confused with sub.
Yes.
You can be a sub and not be a woman, or be a woman and be a dom. It's okay.
Or be a switch because you can't decide. I mean, you can decide. So, sidetrack, a little bit of a tangent. I ended up finding switchdom because while I'm not a huge fan of either role, really, I tried it out, but I didn't really care for it. But I've had so many partners, I don't know. It seems like the world is full of bottoms. No one wants to be the dom. And so if you want to be with a partner, you have to be the one who steps up and does the dom thing. And I'm just like, I just stopped dating people like that because I'm like, nothing against them. It's great for them, but I don't want to. I want an equal partnership. I don't want to be the one in charge. And I really don't want the other person to be the one in charge,
Every time you pause, it looks like a porn thumbnail.
She's got kind of the Kuwait thing going on.
She's getting rid of Hakatua on that mic.
Oh no. And also, she's super rich. She's got political organizations behind her. And she's got one of those handheld fuzzies. Like, those are great if you're out in the field or something, but like, you're trying to do a professional production. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I felt like crap just because my mic is in the shot. I can move it out of the shot, but then you don't hear me quite as well unless I turn my head this way. It just...
I like my mic in the shot. Gives the podcast feel.
Yeah, kind of, I suppose. I like it in the shot now because it makes a useful flag hanger.
Yeah. Well, I used to have a praying mantis that wandered back and forth on mine, remember?
Yeah, your old studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool shit. I'm also the Click has googly eyes on his mic, and I thought that this is adorable. I'm like, oh, I almost wish my mic were visible. Not that there's any place to put googly eyes on this thing. It's one of these square looking road ones. It just, yeah.
I do not have a video area, streaming area like you ladies do. I just use my dining room table, and my son is home early from work, so he's in the background singing. So if you hear him, that's what you're hearing. I keep trying to press mute till he goes back upstairs, but yeah.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too, because sometimes my housemates are quite loud. It's better now that we have a different... We lost one roommate and got a different one, and it's much better now. But there's still a Great Dane who lives here, and sometimes he decides to make his presence known, and no amount of noise gate is going to keep his bark out. So it's an oof. But yeah, I don't really have a dedicated space either. Like, my computer is where it is because I have an 8-foot table with my monitor on it and other stuff like my printer and my coffee cup and so forth. But we're just in my bedroom. Like, this is just a sheet.
Okay. Yeah, mine's a dining room table.
Yeah. We work with what we've got.
Paradox of feminism now is really that it's ironically only benefited men, particularly in how it's redefined relationships and gender dynamics. Since the sexual revolution in the 1970s, marriage rates have plummeted 60%. All the while, hookup culture has proliferated. For example,
it's almost like neither sex really wants to get married or wants to get married less, and they were forced to back in the day in order to have the kind of relationship they wanted. Women,
I feel like I was at some point in my life. Like, oh, yeah. if you want to have a partner, you got to get married. It's just the way it is. But I'm much happier now.
Yeah, same. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not averse to getting married again someday, but it'd have to be a really fucking remarkable person.
I don't think I ever want to get married. I can have that fun. I don't think I ever want to do that. I don't have any. I don't know if I could put it, any faith in relationships anymore. I'm like damaged when it comes to that. But if you do, more props to you, though.
Yeah, I get that. I'm kind of cynical about relationships, too. That's one of the reasons I've been single for fucking years. It's just... it's a combination.
I don't even want to say how long I've been single. I'll probably get outed in the chat. I might talk about it on some other platform or something like that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nobody's entitled to anybody's personal information. Some of us choose to volunteer for our own reasons, for representation, for visibility, but some things are still personal. Like,
I don't think this is the platform for it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like my kids, for example. I'll talk about my kids with people on Facebook, because Facebook people are either people that I personally know or that many of the people I personally know, you know?
Yeah.
But here, aside from the one time my oldest came on stream with me to talk about their work organizing a pride group in their high school, I only refer to them very obliquely, you know, because I have kids, it's part of my life, but it's not part of what I'm doing here. It's
Yeah,
not the public's business and any rando who wanders by a stream, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
70% of college students report participating in casual sexual encounters. And also on the note of college,
So 20% of college students are lying on their survey. I kid, but like, for real though.
63.6% of all student loan debt belongs to women. And the average student loan debt for women in the US is $31,700. So
Wow, I'm envious of that low amount of student loan debt. But also, why do you suppose that might be? What was the first year women were really accepted into colleges? Like, there have been women's schools for ages, right? Finishing schools, or schools like classic Vassar, for example. You'd get an education, but you were only enrolled until you caught a husband. The point was to catch a husband, not to be educated. So it's only in recent generations that women actually have access to education, and there's more women. Again, taking that statistic at face value, it could well be wrong because she's not exactly presenting the most up-to-date data, or ever up to whatever. Ay, ay, ay.
while women are sold this idea of feminism, of being encouraged to be independent and sexually liberated and career focused, it just hasn't benefited us at all. Like, what are we getting out of this? Because
I mean, career freedom and independence and being sexually I don't know if our friend here, Miss James, women like to have sex too. Quite a lot of women.
Who would have thought?
That's the thing about the male loneliness epidemic. It's like, well, it's not all AMAB people that are that are lonely. Because cis men have gotten so toxic, we kind of have a surplus over here on the lesbian side of things. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not hurting for anything.
Yeah, there's a rather lot of bi people who are in almost exclusively same-sex relationships because there aren't any viable alternatives of the other flavor. Like, there are people, but like, it's so hard. I mean, we've always said it's a problem to meet a good man. Like, you can go to any bar and find men, and there are good men. There are many of them in this community, but like, finding them out in the wild is really hard.
You'd be like, this guy's nice looking, and then once he opens his mouth and says a few words, you're like, he ain't it. No. All the traction goes down after a few words.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. And if you're finding it really hard, go to adameve.com. Avast, ye lovers.
studies show that women's overall happiness has significantly declined since the 1970s, despite increased opportunities and
Okay, where's this from? Vox magazine.
Yeah, it's
admitted-
kind of funny how when your husband can't smack you around for saying you're unhappy publicly anymore, that you start reporting that you're unhappy.
Yeah, like you could like the left-handedness thing. It's weird how people suddenly became left-handed after they stopped being beaten for using their left hand. Very strange. Very strange.
Right.
And also, Maya is reminding us correlation is not causation. We can be
Which is
unhappy.
exactly which is the shorter, more concise way to say what me and Ember were just saying. Thank you, Maya. Straight to the point.
Absolutely. Maya's got the market cornered in the bluntness. That's why I tangent so much, because I couldn't afford bluntness because Maya's just got the monopoly.
She's
Maya
the clean
took all
bitch
the
of wokeness.
Yeah, she's also, she leads the woke mob. That's why, because she's
Yes.
blunt about it. She says, hey, cancel these chuds, and the mob follows.
That's right.
Basically a cult.
It's true. Yeah.
And
I mean, well,
also,
that's like-
I want to reiterate that Kip Davis has written no books.
Mhm. It is written. It is known. As according to prophecy and things.
Independence. And even beyond that, it's the total breakdown of family structures that have really devalued commitment and therefore marriage and therefore increased divorce rates, but all
Total breakdown of family structures. There are no families anymore. There are no families. We've had a total breakdown. There are no parents. There are no children. Won't someone think of the children? There are no aunts and uncles, no cousins. It's all broken down. And all because women have the right to vote. What have we done?
of this has taken such a toll on society as a whole in the long run. But circling back to kind of the effects of all of this on women's happiness levels, because I think the stats on this are super interesting and really paint the whole picture. According to a Gallup poll, about half of working women reported feeling stressed a lot of the time, compared to just 4 in 10 men.
About half of women, as opposed to about half of men. People who have to work and adult feel stressed. Who could imagine? Well, clearly we need to send the women back to the kitchen because it'll reduce our stress or something. So she said about half, but this clearly says 42% of working women. Is that not the same as 4 in 10? It's a rounding error. Holy shit.
Plus, 17% of women overall report having to address personal or family responsibilities at work daily or several times a day, compared to just 11% of men overall.
Sounds like it's not actually equality yet. But 17% versus 11% isn't that big of a gap either. Still a gap, but not exactly a staggeringly huge one. Ay, ay, ay. Pendragon says, where's the pearls emoji? She's missing something to clutch. Well, if we get enough members, we'll open up it'll unlock a new emoji slot. And then members get to vote on the emojis over here. It's one of the perks of being a member. Not only do you get the cool emojis, but you get to vote on the new emojis. And we have a whole bunch of cool ass emojis.
Yep. Barefoot and
iPhone
Prego.
for some reason.
Exactly, native. Atheist.
The barefoot and Prego.
Yeah. That's how they want us. Exactly.
Yeah. And yet those same romance novels that she was talking about, they all start out with, I'm sick of this provincial life. I'm a capable human being. There must be more than this for me. You know, they all
It's like
have
Beauty and the
that
Beast. Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, well.
That song, the beginning song.
There we go. I got some pearls so we can clutch them. I always keep these handy. I'm most of my necklaces go on my back wall. I've put pegs in, but this one I keep in my drawer so I can clutch them as needed.
My pearls are back there. I can go grab them if I need to.
We could have
Mine are upstairs.
Oh, we could rename the show. We could be the Pearl Clutch Club.
Someone loves you so much, Amber.
Yee.
A Pendragon, yeah. Hello, I'm trying to do the Ryan. Is that how you do it? Something like that. I think I got it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm bad at it too, but like, yeah.
I did it, Ryan. Look, if you saw on the stream.
Feminism today, in so many ways, leads women away from the support that they truly need and desire, the structure of a family with a strong male figure to protect and guide them. And again,
is that what we truly need and desire, or is it being able to have our own money, our own property, like that's the security in the structure. We have to be able to have our independence, or we're property, we're slaves. But also desire. Not only do we need it, we desire that too. Like, for fuck's sake, like, under her view, you don't even get to pick out your own clothes. You only get jewelry when a man deigns to bestow it upon you.
Well,
Like,
the whole thing about jewelry is that they had to have that having jewelry was your savings, because if anything were to happen to your husband, you didn't have rights to keep anything except for the jewelry that you owned. That was your legacy. That was your husband's way of giving you something to carry on if something happened to him. Right?
Yeah.
And that's why dowries are like that, in that vein too. Like you got to sell your daughter with a little bit of something.
Oh yeah, you get basically it's transferring one man to another man. That's all it is.
Yep. It's all property rights. Jesus fucking Christ.
And true patriarchy is not about dominance. It's about responsibility for the future. Because again,
it's about dominance. It's look at the fucking patriarchs that are running around the world right now. Look at the United States invading our own cities, burning down our own forests. It's not about the fucking future. It's 100,000% about dominance. It's I've got the biggest dick. I'm in charge. That's the whole thing.
communities with a strong father presence show 35% less crime rates, 40% higher rates of academic achievement, and significantly lower rates of teen pregnancy. So just look at the rise of fatherless homes and the decline of the nuclear family and how society has fragmented as a result.
Again, taking her statistics at face value, despite the fact that they contradict statistics she rattled off earlier, never mind that. Do you suppose those social problems are now are the result of women having more rights or men falling short? It doesn't have to be. She can't point at a bunch of problems and say this must be because of the thing I don't like and ignore the thing that it definitely is, you know? Cherry picking the data, p-hacking, all sorts of misrepresentation. That would be another good channel name too. Misrepresentation. Oh, I amuse me.
What happens when patriarchy is abandoned? So considering
Misinterpretation says her use of statistics just proves how women really need an education. Valid.
all of this, I truly believe, because the stats show it and we can just look around and see what's happened, I believe that patriarchy is the solution to all of our problems. That would
Notoriously, there were no problems before women's lib. Our society was perfect. That's why we wanted to change it. Mm-hmm. So I would just like to mention there's a concept in philosophy called Chesterton's fence. And it's the principle that you don't tear down a barrier until you know why the barrier is there. Is it there to hold you back, or is it to keep something out? In the classical example, a man buys a farm named Chesterton, and there's a fence. And he's like, oh, this fence is getting in the way of my sheep grazing. So he tears down the fence without bothering to find out why it was put up in the first place. And it turns out there's wolves in the deep, dark forest. Now that there's no fence, the wolves come in and eat all his sheep. That's just the metaphor, though. Like,
Yeah.
If you want to understand why women's lib was necessary, you have to look at why the fence was there in the first place. Why we tore down the fence. Because of what the fence was designed to do.
to fix everything. And I'm going to prove that in a further and more important way, which is that the ultimate patriarch of our world is God. And so the breakdown.
Oh, good. We're just moving into supernatural stuff now. Yes. God, who famously does not have a body, and yet strangely they're all good with calling him a he. He has no chromosomes, he has no gametes, but he's still he. It's fine. Fuck's sake. I can't justify my claims. I'm just spitting nonsense, so I'm going to appeal to my invisible friend. This is the evidence, this is the proof, this is the best argument.
Of patriarchal systems has been a war against the very concept of God as the Father, the divine protector and the source of all order and harmony. All of
Fun fact, the majority of feminists are Christians. You don't have to reject God or any particular religion or whatever. I believe you should. You'll have a better life that way. But you don't have to in order to believe you deserve rights. Holy shit. In fact, you can back that up with biblical stuff. The passage about all chains will be broken sort of thing. Jeebus.
this can be measured in a very tangible way. Religious participation has declined 20% in the last 2 decades, which is also correlated to
That's true. Religious participation is way down. So is it women's lib causing the spike in unhappiness and the terrible economy and all that other shit? Or is it the church being pushed out? Which is causing what? How do they're both happening, but who the fuck knows? Apparently Jester, because he just sent another super chat for $5. Thank you so much, Jester. And says, ever notice how makeup got thinner as women got more rights and men had less freedom to do harm to them? I'm not saying there's a correlation, but, and you know, that's a valid point. I haven't had to wear makeup to cover a bruise since January, which is pretty neat. I've saved a lot on makeup.
a massive rise in mental health issues. Now, an estimated 21.3% of US adults have experienced mental illness. And also, feminism in and of itself.
We're better at diagnosing mental illnesses so people can live better lives. Curse you, feminism. Curse you. How dare you let people be happier and healthier? Because mental health is still health. Fuck.
Itself as a movement in its rejection of patriarchy often also rejects God and embraces a godless worldview where everything is really reduced to individualism. And the patriarchy.
So that's just riddled with fallacies. Like I just said, the vast majority of feminists are Christians. You may find a higher proportion of godless folks within feminism than without, but I will remind you, a huge proportion of the non-believing part of society are still very fucking right-wing for some ungodly reason. Like, there isn't actually a relationship there.
Really too, at the core of it, isn't just about men. It's about reflecting the divine order established at creation with
That's what they like to say.
Creation. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, there's the whole thing. Oh, the Bible says that, you know, everyone is married to God because God's polygamous and we're all his bitch. But then there's the man, love your wives as I have loved you, whatever. The man is like God in the family, and then the wife and then the children, but not if it's a male child. Well, once he reaches a certain age, yada, yada, yada. But that's justification, right? Like, that's not how things actually work or have ever worked. Like, it's for weak men. That's what it is. Because a strong man will protect the people he cares for, just like a strong woman will, right? Like that whole mama bear meme.
Yeah.
Strong adults will protect the people they care for, whether they're ordered to or not. It's only the people who rely on that book like a crutch. I should have authority, not because I deserve it, not because I rise to the expectations necessary for that level of respect, but because I'm owed it. It's entitlement culture. It's participation trophies. It's some bullshit. Ay, ay, ay.
Adam as the leader of the family, the leader of Eve, and also too, like priests, for example, we call them father. All of this is the natural order of how things should be. So really,
It's always seemed weird to me. Like even when I was a little kid, the way people would call priests father. I'm like, but they're not your father. So what are you saying? Are you saying they're daddy? And also, isn't God supposed to be the father? So why are we calling the priests father? Is that blasphemy? Do we think they're God? Is it in their official capacity as the speaker for God? Because they're like, there's an invisible dude in the sky. He won't talk to you though, but he talks to me. So if you want to do as he says, you actually have to do as I say, because to you, I'm the father. Like, where does that come from? And how is that even legal within their traditions? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Ay, ay, ay. Misinterpretation says the original order of creation is Eve was in charge. And see here for an explanation. And there's a handy dandy link. And that's sort of, I was kind of thinking that too, when she was like, oh, in Adam and Eve, Adam was in charge. I'm like, then how did Eve get Adam to like, shouldn't Adam have tried the apple first? How did that whole apple thing?
Adam was a sub and Eve was a dom.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that was Adam's problem with Lilith, was that she was a dom and he wanted to be the dom. And so she's like, I'm out of here. And then
and he wasn't manly enough to rise.
He asked God to make him a sub. So it's like, okay, I have to make it out of your rib so it'll obey you. And then
Talking about subs makes me think of sandwiches, which makes me hungry.
It is almost lunchtime.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm gonna feed my hibachi as soon as I get off this stream.
I know. I'm overheated. I'm hungry. At least I've got good company, and also coffee. Coffee is fucking vital. It's necessary.
You're not bad company yourself, Amber.
I mean, I do what I can, but I'm like, I don't know. I do appreciate that people actually want to spend time with me. Like, I don't know. My whole life I've had this whole rejection complex thing. It's a thing. And I've talked to therapists about it and I've unpacked a lot of it and whatnot, but it still means a great deal to me that people actually want to spend time with me. So I appreciate y'all for being here.
I agree, because I was always the person who was picked last for a lot of events and games and stuff like that. So I got used to being the odd weird ball and
we're the bench warmers.
Being a loner. I'm used to it.
And so much of it is such bullshit. You know, I mean, I'm not a super sports enthusiast like our friend Carly, but I was pretty damn good at the sports I did, like long distance running. I just never stopped. And it's because, you know, I started running when I was very, very little and I just never stopped. Like I just do laps around my backyard. And as you know, I grew up on a farm, so I had a big fucking backyard. I just loved to run. And so in high school, like I was on both the indoor and outdoor track teams. I did a lot better at the long distance running than most of the other events, but I wasn't a slouch at the other things like shot put. I mean, I wasn't like a cannon like some of those, you know, big farm kids. I was a little more twinky, but I had I had pretty decent muscles. It just it's not important. I got drafted onto the soccer team as a midfielder because that's what midfielders do, is run all the time, you know, back and forth. It's
all right, Ember, I love you, babe. I'm gonna tap out at this point. But it's been lovely hanging out with you ladies.
Thank you for joining us. It's so good to see you and spend time with you and, you know, make fun of things with you.
Yeah, it's been great. I'll talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Toodles. We love Bree. And if you love Bree, make sure to join Bree over at Hivesci on I believe it's Friday evenings for Charlatans Web, and definitely Saturday mornings at 10:30 Eastern for Live from the Hive. That's where all the cool kids, it's like our Saturday morning cartoons for adults. We chase down cryptic critters and unknown thingies and more critters. It's just, I don't know. I
Yeah,
really enjoy it.
the last
And
episode was really good. I watched it.
yeah,
I don't know if I can tune in because I'll be doing something, but I will watch it after though. But yeah,
yeah, replays
good show.
are always good.
Yeah.
Um, Carrie Ann asks, any marathons or fundraising runs? Not marathons, but I did a lot of those 5Ks, 15Ks. I actually got into those because my grandmother was diabetic. And so I started with the Diabetes Foundation. At the time, they called it Walktoberfest, but a lot of people ran it. So I ran. Um, that was like one of my favorite ones because you'd do the thing, you'd raise the money, and at the very end, they had sandwiches. You could just you got a nice time out in the nature going through the trails, and when you were done, you got a sandwich. And despite growing up on a farm, I didn't have a lot of food as a kid. I was very food motivated. If I could get a sandwich, I would walk through the damn desert on hands and knees. It's just it's goodness. But yeah, I did a few of those and they were pretty fun. Maya says, "Look, Ember, most people are idiots. They have an inability to properly appreciate you. It's not a personal failing." That's that's fair. I cannot argue with that logic. I mean, put it in syllogism form. Most people are idiots. Most people have an inability to properly appreciate Ember. Therefore, I don't know. I'm silly. All right, we do have a few more minutes, so let's let our friend try to land a point.
Again, the war on patriarchy is ultimately the war on God, because if God is the ultimate father, then any effort to dismantle patriarchy is an effort to erase this divine order. And as
No. Like, I mean, I wish that were true, but no. Oh, goodness. It's slippery slope plus straw man plus weak analogy plus false equivalency. Like this is just made of fucking fallacies. If you want to own property, if you want to have your own money, if you want to have the right to vote, you're against God himself. You're a sinner. You're wicked. You're doing it wrong or something. Shit.
we've moved away from patriarchy, so too have we become less religious. According to a recent study, 80% of everybody at church on Sunday morning grew up in a home with a continuously married biological set of parents. And that trend continues across all age groups, from the oldest of Gen Zs to the youngest of boomers. Also, according to Oxford University, who published
That's a weird way to phrase that. The oldest of Gen Z to the youngest of boomers. But, I mean, I will give her this. Out of all the couples I've ever known who made it to a 50th wedding anniversary, they did stay married the entire time. It's kind of an entailment. Oh, no worries, Bree. We love you. We value your time. We appreciate your contributions. You're a wonderful human being. And I tried to engineer these shows so that the ladies can pop in and out as needed, as they feel like, etc. And I'm glad when folks do, but
Yeah.
they never have to. Nobody ever has to, and nobody ever has to be on time for the start or stay all the way to the end. It's entirely as you can and want to, which is why sometimes we get different people. We had AJ yesterday, we had Bree today. We may have a bunch of
Ryan
people
popped
on
in a little
Monday.
bit yesterday too.
Yeah,
Hopefully, get Maya when she gets everything situated, she can come
for
hang out
sure.
with us too.
Yeah. And a lot of people are excited for Deviant on Monday. So I don't even know
Yeah, I
how
am
far we're
too.
going to get into anything because everybody will just be fawning over Deviant's big Egypt-filled brain. Which is fair.
published a 40-year longitudinal study that followed 350 families with over 3,000 adults. They found that disproportionately an adult's description of his or her relationship with their father, whether it was warm and close, was the biggest predictor of whether or not they practiced faith as an adult. But also, too, the outcomes of those who are religious are much better than those who are not. More than 1/3 of actively religious U.S. adults, 36%, describe themselves as very happy, compared to just 1/4 of both inactive and unaffiliated Americans. And they also had significantly lower rates of substance abuse. Individuals.
It's interesting that both of those rates are significantly sub 50%. Now, if we go to another country, say Sweden, where rates of religiosity are much, much lower, everyone is much, much happier. It's almost like being free from patriarchal constraints and religious control, and also not being shunned by your society for doing that, give you a better chance of having a happy life. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm silly. I'm probably silly.
Maybe.
Deviant says, I'll try my best not to let you down. Do remember, though, your brains are way bigger than mine. Mine is smooth as an egg, I think. I beg to differ, Deviant, but, you know, I mean, no pressure. I don't want to put, like, high expectations on you. It's just everyone seems to want the knowledge you possess, which is cool because, you know, we stan our science friends. We stan our scholars, even the informal ones. You know, it makes us all better to have more knowledge. But, you know, that's just my take. Ryan says that's because they're told to be happy. And it's kind of true, right? I've met so many former LDS people specifically come to mind. You know, like Archradish, the shiny, happy former Mormon. And a lot of that happiness is because of social pressure. They're not actually happy. They're constantly pretending, even with their family, because it's expected and they're punished if they don't, which is seriously fucked up. Like, you're not allowed to feel even your own genuine emotions, even with the people you're supposedly closest to. Holy shit.
Who attended services at least once per week had a lower risk of all-cause mortality by 26%, had a lower risk of heavy drinking by 34%, and a lower...
It's a weird statistic. If your parents go to church, you have a lower chance of getting hit by a car, of having cancer. I don't think that's true. Like,
At all. Not one bit.
Yeah, it's such a weirdly constructed statistic. If it's even valid, like it's clearly data manipulation. We're going to take all these causes and put them together to obscure the trends the actual data show. It's fucking yikes. Deviant says, oh, no, you don't. I do all of that to myself. It's how I function, and it's what Strangle gives me this superpower that people think I have something to offer them. It's weird, but it works. I'm not quite sure what that means. I mean, I'll acknowledge the superpowers. I think we all have superpowers, right? Like, some of us are a bit more obvious than others. Like, you know, the strong dude who can lift a car. That's a really obvious superpower. But you'll meet somebody, as to keep it short and simple, as Doctor Who said. I know it's not Doctor Who. It's the joke of the show, but whatever. I have never met a person who wasn't important. And that's true. You know, like Forrest Velkai often says, I've never had a bad day. I wish I could say the same. That's just not true for me. But I have never met a person who wasn't important.
He explained how even though every day is not great, he learned something or has some kind of experience he can take with him. That's what he
every day you can learn something. Every day you have potential to do something good, to make something better. And at the very least, it's another day you get to be alive and experience the fact that this world full of all kinds of wonders like electricity and blue skies and the moon and the stars and the trees and the rainbows and the flowers and the chirping birds and the crickets and the spiders, and it's fucking cool. And yeah, I get it that we take it for granted sometimes because it's what we've experienced every day of our lives. But when you pause for a moment and you step back and you just think about how ridiculously cool this universe is, even with all the horrors, even with all the bad things other humans have put into it, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's days, I struggle with depression. A lot of people
Yeah.
do. I'm not shy about that fact because, again, visibility is important. If you struggle, you're not alone, and you can still do cool things. You don't have to, I digress.
Yes.
There are days when the only good thing I can say about it is it was another day I got to be me. And sometimes that's enough.
I think with me, and I'm glad I'm finally getting over this, but I was a Christian, it was more of like, what is my purpose in life? And I felt some kind of way because I didn't feel I had no purpose, that I was a failure in everything that I did. And why was I even born? I had that thought a lot of times, and I realized there's no such thing as purpose. It's what you make it. But it took me almost 40 years to realize that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, for a long time I said stuff like, "Oh, purpose is what you make it. It should be what you decide." And I still agree with that. But I've come to the way it's framed in our society. It took me a long time to even really deconstruct the idea that there has to be a purpose. Why? Just because everyone says so?
Exactly. It's almost our closing time, though.
It is
Even though I
indeed, and I
think
figured
we
that was a pretty good high note-ish to wrap things up on. So, before we go, once again, remember, join Bree tomorrow morning, Hive Sci, live from the Hive, and all the other things, Transpositions on Thursdays, I'm there too, and Charlatans Web, and Bree does a shit ton of stuff, so make sure you're following her. Kelly, what are you up to? What do you got going on? All those things.
tomorrow I am gonna be, if you're local in the Detroit area, it is Dally in the Alley. So come on down to the Michigan Atheist table. And I'll be there in the morning time because I do have to work later on. So that's what I'm doing. And then Sunday I will be at Hell's Bells show, Free Thinker Fireside. I'll be on her show at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So sit down and watch. We talk about the lack of diversity in our platform, atheist, humanistic platforms. So that's what I'm doing the next couple of days.
Hell yeah. And of course, I'll be here as well as other places. Tomorrow night, new debate review with Mark Reed, and Godless Engineer will be by. He'll be joining us for our 100th review special. Jesus Christ, we've done 100 of those things. Sunday, I've got the Sunday show where we look at the weird, obscure, supernatural nonsense. This week is, are aliens real, and are they demons actually? We found a former astrophysicist who thinks so, and longtime fans of the channel will recognize this person. It should be fun. Hope you join us. And of course, be back here Monday for the next weekday early episode, the morning show. Hot Topic,
Hold on.
Deviant Outcast, and Dark Goddesses.
One
Make
second.
sure you're here. It'll be fun. Love to see you. Before we go, super chats. We had super chats today.
Yeah.
Jester had the monopoly. Hell yeah, go Jester. Jester said for $2, Patriot, no, Matriot. So what should Matriot mean? And that's an interesting question. Also $2, just the tip. And for $5, ever notice how makeup got thinner as women got more rights and men had less freedom to do harm to them? I'm not saying there's a correlation, but so yeah, thank you, Jester. All support for the show is appreciated. People who sent in other places, people who join memberships, people who join the Patreon, all wonderful stuff. It all helps. I appreciate it very much. And on that note, one of the perks of being a member of Patreon or the top level membership here on YouTube is a shout out. And so here we go with that. Thanks for coming, everybody. We will see you either tomorrow evening or on Monday, depending on your schedule. Toodles! Thanks to the top-level members and Patreon supporters for August. Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkisson, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Kalasia, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, The Mighty Filbert, Hunter Biden's Laptops, Larkwright, Greg S., Neurogeezer, Mage Greywolf, Faran Salas, Poor Claire, BTF Wayne, Cosmic Kyle, Bomb Poppy, RDZ, Billy Bongsalot, Marty Cameo, My Unfinished Sock, Austin Sims, Tinker Phil, Anarchic Fox, Sabrina Page, Leslie Hutchings, Gazela Mail, Evil Toe, Right-Handed Sith, Luke, D. Murphy, Jesse, Uncle Charlie, Ryan Cultastic, Kurisu Yamato, Scott Duke, Michael Bell, Sumami, Citizen 9, S. Cook, James Nordoff, Hecklek, Velvet, KCA Randy, B.S. Lewis, Tori Swansiger, Whimsy, Kristen Slays, Godless Engineer, Fern Lovebond, Hillhugger, Karen Butcher, Milwaukee Atheists, Booba Sweat, Maya Adkisson, My Unfinished Studio, Ian Chen Official, Introvert Ancom, Tilting Windmill, Christopher Tablante, Robin Webster, Proby666, Jason T, Action Squad, Robert Madewell, Doc Don Hogg, Jester, Sydney Raptor, Stardust Lilith, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Jake, insert clever dapper inside joke here, Nelson, Supercritical Snake, Eli Slack, Geo Sam, Kalasia789, L Trucker, You Are Victoria, Polly Has His Cracker, Roman Weber, Leo Filius, Nikki Pare, Jasper, Yahooligan, and Pinworm. Thank you all so much. I feel energized and grateful that you're part of this community. Thank you.
Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now.